Welcome to PI Main Personal Injury ChiroTouch Macro. This is Dr. Jeff Williams. I appreciate you visiting us and watching this demo. I'll try to keep it as quick as possible. So let's just start a new note here and see what an intake looks like. Here's a PI intake. We go to, let's say the patient was a driver. Today is August 15th, but she had a wreck on the 6th. She was a waitress, and she has not been able to return to work, where she has moderate labor. She was the driver of a 2011 Toyota. She was stopped at an intersection going 0 miles an hour. She was hit in the rear by a 1998 Tundra. Did they even make those back then? I'm not sure. Let's say he was going about 25. Okay, so basically, you have a whole series of questions here that you can go through fairly quickly for a very robust personal injury new patient intake. So let's back out and we'll go to the one that was pre-cooked here. And let's see what, now this looks like a lot of work, but really in about 30 to 35 minutes you can come up with something pretty amazing here. So all the big questions are answered. Here's the damage of the vehicle. She was hit by a larger vehicle. All the really important questions are answered here. Then we've got chief complaints at the time of the wreck. Now we've got current chief complaints. We've got a very quick way to do a radiographic report. We've got concussion questioning and grading. We've got vitals. We've got cranial nerves. We've got our orthopedic tests that were positive and negative. We've got a range of motion. We have our assessment section. Here is the treatment recommendations. Let's say Mrs. Garcia had a grade 3 whiplash, meaning partial ligament tear. That's going to net her about 56 weeks, 76 visits, all evidence-based, based on research that is shared by Dr. Art Croft. If you're not familiar with Dr. Art Croft and his Spine Research Institute of San Diego, please go to their website. It is srisd.com. Sign up for his 4-part module. It will change everything about everything you do, even with your self-pays, but certainly with your personal injuries. We have risk factors that our initial intake notified for us. So we put those in there and make sure they're noted. All evidence-based and research cited. Now we get into our discussion. What happens biomechanically in a wreck? Based on research, Ono et al., Siegman et al. What happens with the G-forces? As you can see, this is a very comprehensive note. Some will be shorter. Most of them will be shorter. Obviously, for the demo, we took a worst case scenario. Here's sprain and strain grading and descriptions. You'll have a diagnosis section. Here you do a prognosis for each and every condition, and that is very, very quick, very easy to do. I'll show you one of the powerful parts of this macro is that you can go to the assessment here. You can go over to Croft Crash Description Risk Factors, and you can pop in those risk factors very quickly. You just hop through here and put them in. Then you go to Risk Factors for Late Whiplash. Go through all of those. Click the ones that apply. Go to Croft Crash Descriptions. Was it frontal, side, rear impact, or rollover? This one was a rear impact, so we'll go to the description. She hurt her neck. We'll click that one. We'll click the low back. Here's common complaints from car crashes. So facet injury, she had a prior injury to that chief complaint. Ligament laxity, all of those populate what will later become the discussion section of our narrative. So you can see how it's very quick to go. Now, I can also show you how to set up all of this stuff so that when I go see a patient, I know exactly what the chief complaints are. This one had begun bilaterally, but since the last re-exam, now it's just more on the right. The knee was hurting, no longer. So very quick synopsis when I go in. Positives on the orthopedic test, and I can look over here and see what's going on as well. And then we have these alerts set up and configured so that we know exactly when we need to be doing duties under duress and loss of enjoyment. We know that this patient needs exercises given to them. They also need to watch man versus machine. They're going to need a re-exam. This is all set up. Phase 2 is going to be complete on 10/28. We just know that all of these things are going to happen so that when it happens, we don't even have to think about it. It's just kept track of. So also, I'll show you this first. I made a little sheet so that my front desk knows exactly how to handle a new patient, PI when they come in, how to do an intake. We're going to, the back office, when they're doing the intake on the patient, complete the subjective PI intake, choose appropriate button, and continue. Go to chief complaints, go to medications, go to prior surgeries, and on and on and on. I even included a section to keep me accountable so that I know what's going on. Obviously, this is a sheet I will share with you. I'll also, if you choose, help you learn. I can't do it all for you, but I will help you learn how to start from a blank sheet here. And if I can get it over here, I'm getting the beach ball. There we go. And turn it into something similar to this. Chief complaints. You'll see that the research citations are dropped in here. I use a program called EndNote for that. That is a separate purchase through a separate company. Here's our range of motion. We use our word processor to generate graphs for us. On the final narrative, there'll be a third bar that shows the final range of motion. Neurological, orthopedic. Now we get to our outcome assessments. You'll see that I don't just say that the Neck Disability Index has become the standard outcome assessment tool. I cite the research that says that. They don't have to believe me. We're appealing to the higher authority, as Dr. Croft says. Here's, we copied and pasted a lot of that discussion straight out of our notes, and we drop in demonstrations to illustrate what happens in this sort of injury. Still going here, still going. Ligamentous tear, our treatment plan. Chiropractic manipulation treatment indication. All of this is proving that chiropractic is indeed indicated in traumatic injuries like this. And it's all research evidence-based right here. And we get to our risk factors that we talked about. All research cited. Our recommendations are backed by research. We didn't just make them up. And then our digital x-rays, we screenshot them and we just drop them right in at the bottom under attachments. And you can see clearly what's going on. And we email these narratives so that these x-rays don't lose any image quality whatsoever and can be shared and reprinted without any loss of quality. And the references are all dropped in here at the bottom. So you're looking at 66 research citations to back up everything that we do here. And then after that, we have a Google Docs narrative list, basically. It's all color-coded. For example, these red ones, we're already done with Alexander Hamilton, and we've already sent that off. We're waiting to get paid on that one. I'm working on John Adams right now. We just finished George Washington, and we're waiting on my staff members to get that emailed down to the attorney. The attorney went ahead and closed this one out, just dropped them, and so nobody was really happy about that one. So basically you get the gist, and I'll teach you how to do that as well. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Hopefully that didn't last too long, but gave you a good solid idea of exactly what we're working with here and how we're trying to take you from standing on concrete, take you from standing on quicksand to standing on concrete, on firm ground, and making sure that attorneys, adjusters, and your competition in your market stand up and take notice of what you've got going on. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me at amarillo.pacc@gmail.com. Again, that's Amarillo, P as in Paul, Amarillo, PACC @gmail.com.